I can't believe I'm making this. My lawyer has been sent an absolutely unhinged threat in response to our recent court battle from one of Australia's most active left-wing extremist groups. Watch this all the way to the end to see the whole story, including our court win, plus the ongoing fight, and most importantly, their entire insane letter, and then share it far and wide so people understand how those who hate everything about freedom and democracy are going as far as attacking the fundamental right of every person to legal representation. And then finally, head over to lifttheorder.com to help us finish the fight in lifting the final suppression order that has this radical group of professional protesters going mad. After launching our now successful legal challenge against an outrageous suppression order protecting two notorious Jew-hating extremists in Melbourne, one of the country's most radical leftist groups, known for taking up every far left-wing cause from climate change to abolishing Australia Day or Australia, to more recently their hateful obsession with Jews in Israel, sent the following letter to my lawyer Justin Quill. It says, "We're disappointed to learn of your strong association with the alt-right media group known somewhat horrifically as Rebel Media, and engagement with a known neo-Nazi." Yes, that's right, they called me, a proud Jew, a neo-Nazi. In his short life, Mr. Yemini has fronted court multiple times and has been found guilty of drug importation, drug possession, domestic violence, and has been ordered to separate from his kids due to his violence. Now, none of this is true, but if you're really interested in my personal life, get my book, rebelfromthestart.com. The good, the bad, the ugly. It's just not the ugly that they paint here. In fact, they go, he bashed his ex-wife with a chopping board, causing her to sustain multiple fractures to her eye socket, face and jawbone. She was in hospital for 2 weeks and had to undergo surgery. Completely fabricated story. Mr. Yemini pled guilty to this charge while expressing his hatred of women. Hatred for women. I love women. In fact, there's nobody I love more than myself, besides for my wife and kids. But this is who you are, representing Mr. Quill in a bid to shame him. What does he say about you, Mr. Quill? Do you bash your wife for fun at home, Mr. Quill? Have you chosen the almighty dollar to fund your Toorak Melbourne club lifestyle at the expense of the innocents, Mr. Quill? Well, they're certainly trying to shame one of Australia's top media lawyers out of representing me. But why? Because they say, we understand that you've been engaged to try overturn a judicial finding of a suppression order handed down in order to protect in capitals the accused victim. Now, hold on a second. The order was to protect an alleged perpetrator who they paint as a young, brilliant member of the Melbourne Muslim community who has devoted her life to peace and community integration. Let me just remind you, Miss Laura Alam is up for violent kidnapping charges, and the details of that alleged incident are pretty horrific. According to these guys, that's a person devoted to peace. Anyways, let's continue. The order was given, they claim, because of the likes of Mr. Yemini, who unfortunately enjoy doxing and attacking people who have not yet been charged with a crime and not being found guilty. Fact check. The whole point is she's being charged with the crime. But here they go on. They reckon that the court correctly recognised the danger this girl faced, again making her the victim here somehow. Had she been exposed via image, name, community association, etc., the likes of Mr. Yemini would have fueled hate towards her religious community and placed them in incredible risk. Okay, nothing about their alleged victim here. Anyways, they go on with their request, or in brackets, as they put in capital, their warning, their threat. We hereby request you absolve yourself immediately, in bold, from this case and any further association with Mr. Yemini, Rebel Media, or any right-wing organisation from here forth. Should you not do this and further continue to support the likes of Mr. Yemini, our group will commence investigations. Stay in school, guys. Greta isn't helping you out. Investigations, I'm assuming they mean, into protesting via entrance blockade at Rialto sit-ins, social media photos of you and publicising your law firm's association with neo-Nazis. So they're essentially saying that they will camp outside the law firm's office in the Rialto and spread photos of my lawyer. Now in bold, we ask you to reflect and consider your actions very carefully. The threat continues. Association with neo-Nazis like Mr. Yemini will not be tolerated by our community, the community of extremists. And the guilty are not just the domestic abusers like Avraham, but equally those who choose to stand by him and support him. Put down the chopping board, leave your wife alone, Mr. Quill, and walk away from neo-Nazis immediately. Waka Nam, because Melbourne doesn't exist to these people, nor does Israel. And if you question that, just look at the bottom of their letter where they say, from the river to the sea, all underlined, Palestine will soon be free, which means not all Palestinians, they're talking about the entire land, meaning all Jews will be wiped off. A genocide, that's what these people are calling for, a genocide against Jews, and they're targeting one Jew here in Australia, threatening his lawyer. But spoiler alert, Justin didn't cower to their threat. In fact, he won the case for us, which is why we can identify 2 of the 3 alleged violent kidnappers. And the third, with your help at leftiorder.com, we will successfully challenge in the very near future. If you think it's important for the world to know what lengths these extremists will go to stop the truth from getting out, make sure to like, comment, but most importantly, share it far and wide, because the mainstream media, they've given up on this case, leaving it to us on our own to challenge the final order, which we promised we'd do from the beginning if they'd ever throw in the towel, and they have. But we desperately need your help to finish the job. Lifttheorder.com. We cannot afford to do it without you. Lifttheorder.com now, and we'll get you the name and the details of that final alleged violent kidnapper.